Today we're talking with Pamela Rice, who's the new Chief Technology Officer at OnDeck Capital. Hello, Pamela.
Hello. How are you doing, Charles?
Just fine, thank you. Now, you've just arrived at OnDeck recently from PayPal. Why not give us some background about what you were involved with at PayPal?
Sure, absolutely. So I have been with OnDeck for about a month, and prior to that, I was the head of credit technology at PayPal, where I led everything from growth and scale of their credit systems, focusing on consumer credit, to expanding into the European Union. And prior to that, I was actually part of the acquisition of Bill Me Later and led building out the consumer lending systems for Bill Me Later that were acquired by PayPal.
Now, most people think about PayPal being a payment service and a facilitator to move money around. How did they get into the credit business?
You know, I think the large part of the credit expansion was really the acquisition of Bill Me Later. So they had sampled a little bit with how to lend consumers credit. It's a very tricky space. So really, once they acquired Bill Me Later, then that really set the stage for them to expand their presence in consumer lending.
And they had several years of data built up showing good and bad cash flows from particular customers. So they
Right.
had already sort of underwritten the loans before they got a loan request.
Well, yeah, I can't really speak too much about that. I'd really like to focus on OnDeck and the direction we're headed in really building up our systems and our teams, our technology teams, to prepare for the wave of growth that we have ahead of us.
Well, turning to OnDeck, hardly any other innovative lender has been more prominent in their march to grow than this company, who had started in 2007 and is closing in on a total financing base of $1 billion. And that's more impressive when you consider that about 3/4 of it has come since 2013.
Right.
What's the growth goal? Are we going to double that in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I think we have a really high focus and opportunity in front of us in terms of expanding our growth. I also want to say that that also creates a very large awareness that we have to grow our systems to prepare for that scale and grow our teams to be able to effectively operate at an execution rate that doesn't slow us down.
Now, OnDeck utilizes a very innovative platform that, as I've read, continues to grow within itself, and today employs literally thousands of data points that are collected on borrowers and their companies. Is that going to continue to expand as
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're absolutely disruptors in this space and leveraging large amounts of data to make the right decisions for the right companies.
There are a lot of new competitors that seem to be popping up every month. It seems
Right.
like I have another, somebody else is added to my list of people to watch. How does this impact what you're doing, and how do you sort of guard the rear flank to that regard?
Yeah, it's an interesting position to be in, being the leaders in a very disruptive space. So while we're not absolutely worried about anybody at this point, we're certainly focused on continuing to expand our footprint and continuing to expand how we utilize technology to take us to the next level.
One of the big challenges that may be ahead is demand, as the financial crisis led to what a lot of small business owners complained about being a credit crisis, but was more about just tightening standards. OnDeck and a lot of other innovative lenders became an alternative path for that, but with getting to be a crowded field, how will you deal with a slowing demand or a tightening field for the borrowing market?
Yeah, we actually see it the other way around, that our potential audience is continuing to expand, and we see more consumers at our door every single day, which is why we're so insanely focused on growing our technology systems and our technology teams to prepare for that growth and support it.
In that respect, can you kind of share with us what the next level looks like from here?
Certainly, I could tell you that from my perspective, there are two things that I am going to focus on. And both of those have to do with growth and leveraging the experience of my past, the past 10 years in growing systems, credit systems based on utilizing our data for lending, growing those systems to prepare for scale, and growing our teams so that they can continue running just as fast as they run today, but using operational excellence as we expand our teams and our footprints so that we can really support the expanding products and expanding markets that we are leaning into.
Very well. We've been speaking with Pamela Rice at OnDeck Capital. Great and best wishes to your job ahead, Pam, and we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Charles.